Well, it's early September. Youth season starts in a couple days, and as you know, got to get the kids on some deer. So hopefully you can get one killed, and then Dad can get in a tree a little bit later on. But we got a buck spotted up here that we've seen through the summer. Got some velvet footage of him. We're going out tonight, try to get glasses on him again for one last time before season starts, and get a plan put together for him.
This moment is a reflection of where you've been, where you are, and where you will be. This moment is a step into the unknown, not one that asks what or where, but who. This moment is a step on hallowed ground.
Well, here at the Clinton household is very busy in the fall. We have practices, games, church, school events. It's just very hectic, and we have to plan in order to get kids out there hunting and for me to get out there as well. So a lot of planning goes into each fall. Cambry had killed a few good deer already, so the priority was to get Connor in on a deer, and he got out a few times. It was just a little slower than what we expected. We seen the buck a couple times, and every night we'd come home, Cambry would razz him about shooting that deer for him whenever he was ready. Well, one night, Connor really didn't want to go, and Cambry said she would, and we had a short amount of time, so we just snuck up to the field to see if he was there. What's that?
I was really shaking.
Yeah?
I kind of jerked the trigger. I felt like I did.
Yeah?
I pulled my finger on. I tried to be slow, and then excitement just took over. Adrenaline did.
Yeah. Do you think you're on him?
Yeah. Well, I could see his shoulder, and his
Yeah.
head was down.
Yeah.
So I didn't wait for his shoulder since I could tell he was kind of.
Yep.
facing me.
Put the crosshair right on his shoulder?
Yeah.
Good.
I tried to, but I was shaking, so.
Nice.
That's a big 8.
I think it was. The smoke filled the screen so quick, couldn't see bullet impact. Didn't know for sure if it was a lethal hit, so we decided to wait till the next morning. It was going to be a long night for Cambry, and probably even a longer night for me.
Hallowed Ground Outdoors is brought to you by Quality Archery Designs. You take care of the shot, we'll take care of the rest. Halo Extanium Rangefinders. Never compromise, never miss. Tinks, America's #1 leading buck lure. Diamond Buck Blinds, a cut above the rest. Muddy Outdoors. Out here, our reputation is what defines us. Sportsman's Guide. For everything to outfit your passion at lowest prices guaranteed. Caldwell Shooting Supplies. Accuracy anywhere.
Fog Zero. Keep your optics clean and fog-free for a clear shot every time. Extreme Hunting Solutions stick and lick screw and deer attractant. Outlast the competition. Lockdown vault accessories. Get organized, save time, get the most out of your vault.
What does it take to get to the top? It takes determination. When you're done, get up and do it again. It takes everything physically and mentally that you can pull from within. It takes hard work, and no one's going to hand it to you. It takes everything you've got, but only one rest. The Ultra Rest by QAD.
Hallowed Ground Outdoors is brought to you by Quiet Cat. Quiet Cat's the ultimate electric hunting vehicle that changes the way you access your hunting ground forever. Quiet Cat is built like a bull and hunts like a cat. Order yours direct and through Cabela's.
Where are the cows? Cows are out. Oh, where are the cows?
Well, it's the next day. Cambry shot a buck last night, and we couldn't tell on the film whether it was a decent hit or not, so coming back in today to see if we can recover him. We got smoke in the lens so fast that we couldn't see the impact of the bullet, so we'll give it a go today here, and hopefully we'll come across him. Well, we hadn't walked very far at all, and there was Cambry's buck. She had made a great shot. Oh yeah. Sweet.
He's exactly identical.
Yeah, exactly, except for that. Well, I was really happy for Cambry. She got another deer, and it was such a great way to start off the season. Typically, we hunt the first few weeks of November, so we plan to take vacation at that time. And this year, Brian Kleesner agreed to be a cameraman with me. We're going to swap back and forth on hunts. And November 1st rolled around, and it was time to get in the tree.
Nailed it!
Nice going away. They always do. I think that's the 7th buck we've seen so far. I couldn't convince myself that it was 4.
Well, it's about 2 in the afternoon. We just got into our afternoon sit, and hopefully we'll have one come by. The wind is borderline, but should be all right. Nice thick bedding area around us, so we're hoping that maybe some bucks come up in here looking for some does. We'll see. So here we go, afternoon hunt, November 1st.
We do run a lot of trail cameras, and it's nice to get an inventory for what bucks are there and the ones you're actually targeting in the tree. But come November in that rut, they just move through, and you just never know what you're going to get into. We did see a few deer during midday, and then at last light, last half hour or so, I hit the horns together, and a minute later we had a shooter buck closing in on us. The deer started circling downwind, of course, like big bucks will do, and I knew he was going to cut our wind, so I started spraying tinks into the air, trying to just cut down our scent. As the deer was getting closer, I set the tinks can down and reached for my bow. I was pretty much arms spread out straight across like a T. And he just stared me down, and finally, he just had enough and turned and walked away.
This segment is brought to you by Hoyman Tree Saws, fully extendable premium tree saws.
We are hunters. We spend the preseason studying the weaknesses of our prey. As the season wears on, we grow closer to exploiting those weaknesses. So when the magical hour is upon us, when the moment of truth arrives, we will emerge victorious. Tinks, America's #1 buck lure.
This segment is brought to you by Real Avid Hunting Knives. Our knives aren't for every hunter, just the successful ones.
Culling is really effective for us in November, and Flexstone has a couple products that work great for us. We like to do a lot of rattling out of the tree, and Flexstone has battle bones. These are lightweight, compact, have good tone, and the sound travels a long way, so we really like using them in the tree. The battle bones are really effective and sound like two deer are actually fighting. And as far as calls go, the Extractor 4-in-1 is a slide call that gives you adjustable tones, and it's made out of rubber, and it sounds really good. You get a lot of different tones out of it. In addition to that, it has a wheeze tube, which can be extremely effective if that buck is aggressive. A little grunt wheeze, snort wheeze, and you could have that guy right at the base of your tree. So Flexstone makes a couple great tools that work for us every fall in the woods.
So second morning rolls around after John's encounter the night before. Great sit the first day. We sitting there not too long, saw one little buck in the morning, and not too long later, John says to me, big buck working the scrape up on the skyline. There's a mature deer, big body, big neck, big rack, and I knew that if this deer came in, I was going to shoot him, no questions asked. There's two trails you can take. One takes him by at 40 yards, one takes him by at 25, and he's coming in perfect. And I'm thinking, game over. We discussed it that morning. This is what I wanted the deer to do, and I'm wrapping my tag around his antlers are ready.
Stop.
Instantly going into panic mode. That deer runs a couple yards, stops, looking around, doesn't know what happened. And I'm fumbling around, trying to get arrows, trying to get my bow, everything all lined up, and I panicked, didn't get another arrow knocked, and the deer walked out of my life.
Just graze the hair on his belly. Graze the hair. He's right on the side of a tree, and I was so worried about clipping that tree. Up and down, left and right was perfect. Yeah. I'm sick. I'm absolutely sick. I'm gonna miss the buck. Picked a good one to do it on.
Well, after Brian missed that buck, that was the second buck in 2 days. My encounter that kind of didn't go so hot, and Brian missed. And you just kind of have to have a toilet brain and just flush those memories away and get ready for the next day, because you never know when that big one's going to come by.
Clean as a whistle.
Well, we're seeing tons of deer, and as vacation wore on, we were seeing Pretty Boy quite a bit, and I really had my hopes on getting that deer on the ground. We had moments that it looked like it was going to happen, but we just couldn't put it all together. Well, we sat and hunted hard for a week straight, and we kind of had a little burnout. So we took a week off, went back to work, and finally a snow front was coming in. It was Saturday the 15th, and Brian was up to bat. We put a DSD out in front of us in a cornfield and threw the cards down on the table.
I figured the deer movement would be very good that night. Pressure's on. It's the last week of our vacation, and we know we've got to get it done soon, or else we're not going to get it done. Jon was actually asleep in the corner of the blind, and he about comes unglued out of his chair when he opens his eyes and there's a big buck 80, 90 yards out. And I didn't even believe him at first because we'd only been there a half hour. Maybe this is my chance. Maybe I can finally redeem myself for that miss on November 2nd.
This episode of Hallowed Ground Outdoors is brought to you by HuntStand. HuntStand Lite mobile app offers the most comprehensive tools to get the most out of your hunt. Marking hunt zones and trail camera locations has never been easier. HuntStand. Map, plan, hunt. This episode is brought to you by Buck Cage. Buck Cage is a revolutionary scent dispersal system that will change the way you think about using liquid scents. Buck Cage, the last scent dispenser you will ever buy.
The buck kind of circles around us, and he finds a doe. He's with that doe, and we could not get him away from her. That DSD kept him around. He was snort-wheezing at it and posturing at him. He's really interested in that doe, but he doesn't like that decoy there either. Finally, the buck did break free from the doe a little bit and gave us a little bit of time to work with him.
Oh, again? I need him somewhere, but I think it's low.
Swing and miss. Again. I don't even know what to think at that point. 2 misses in one season, both good deer. You know, great footed for both of them, and it was just, gosh, I don't even know.
One thing if you miss a buck at the beginning of vacation, but when you're on your second week and vacation's nearing the end and you miss a deer, it's like, well, that could have been my season right there. Vacation's winding down. We hit the open timber with a DSD decoy. We have some snow on the ground, and we're just hoping that we can get it done. We were seeing a few deer on that sit, and I looked up, and there was Pretty Boy looking down at the decoy. I gave him a few grunt calls, and he started coming our way. The deer has to go around one end of the brush pile or the other, and he's coming up perfect to go down around the one end. So I'm all set up, picking my spot where I'm going to draw, where I'm going to shoot, and got my feet placed right. And as he gets to that spot, he stops and starts to go work his way around the other end of the brush pile. As he's walking the other way, I shuffle my feet in the stand to get him in the right spot, and the tree stand pops. The deer looks right at me, and instantly my heart just sank. After my stand popped and that deer looked right at us and he busted us for the umpteenth time, I figured it's over and done. This deer had been real aggressive and come into horns and grunt tubes a lot. So I thought if I gave him a chance to just make his way off, and once he got out of sight, I hit the rattling horns together, and he turned around and came right back to us. He started coming downwind. I had my feet positioned right. I knew about where he was going to end up. I pulled my bow back as he got behind a big tree, and as soon as he got past that big tree, he stopped, and it was like mesh wall of tree branches. I couldn't shoot. He was at like 27 yards, and he had our wind, and I knew it was a matter of time, and he was going to get a nose full and have enough and be gone again. I'm thinking back of all the encounters we had with him, what a roller coaster season it had been, and what a ride it was. Our plans don't always meet up with his plans, and we learned a lot of lessons this year that it definitely isn't in our hands. Well, I did actually end up catching up with Pretty Boy, and it was during Iowa shotgun season. I hunt with my dad. I usually don't film a whole lot that time of year, just take a break from it a little bit. My dad and I got to sit in the same tree together. The deer came in on my side of the tree. I was able to get the shot off and put him on the ground. So it was a little bittersweet. Didn't get him killed on film, but I got to kill him with my dad, and I've never killed a big buck with my dad in the tree with me, so that was fantastic. We hunted a lot and got close. We didn't kill, but that's what we love. We love the experience, the hunt of it. So next November, we'll be right back out there again, hunting. And hopefully killing. God willing, we'll kill something.
I am standing on this hallowed ground.
I don't want to relive any of this.
Where I was born, and it's where they lay me down. If anybody asks where I can be found, you tell them I'll be right here on this hallowed ground. Yeah, I'll be right here on this hallowed ground. Yeah, I'll be standing on this hallowed ground.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Flextone Deer Calls. Flextone Deer Calls offer a variety of calls for any situation. No matter what deer vocalization you need to produce, Flextone has you covered. Flextone Game Calls, designed by nature, Flextone engineered.